In recent weeks, a quiet but increasingly discussed development has begun to circulate within diplomatic circles, independent analysts, and alternative political media. While mainstream outlets have largely avoided detailed coverage, multiple indicators suggest that indirect communication channels between former U.S. President Donald Trump's political network and elements connected to Venezuela's leadership have quietly reactivated. These developments are not officially confirmed by either side. However, the pattern of statements, strategic silences, and policy positioning has raised important questions. Are we witnessing the early stages of a behind-the-scenes dialogue? And if so, what could this mean for U.S. Venezuela relations, global oil markets, and future geopolitical alignments? This report does not claim absolute certainty. Instead, it carefully examines what is known, what is suggested, and what is being strategically avoided by official sources. To understand why even rumors of communication between Trump-linked figures and Venezuela matter, we must return to history. Venezuela has long been one of the most politically sensitive countries in U.S. foreign policy. With the world's largest proven oil reserves, its internal political direction has global implications. During Donald Trump's presidency, U.S.-Venezuela relations reached one of their most confrontational phases. Sanctions were expanded, diplomatic recognition was withdrawn from the sitting government, and pressure campaigns were intensified. Trump's administration positioned Venezuela not merely as a regional issue, but as a symbolic front in a broader ideological struggle. This history makes any suggestion of renewed dialogue particularly noteworthy. One of the most interesting signals in recent weeks has not been loud announcements, but silence. Political analysts observe that Trump, known for direct and vocal commentary, has avoided public criticism of Venezuela in several recent interviews where the topic would normally arise. At the same time, individuals known to be close to Trump's foreign policy circle have made vague statements emphasizing energy realism, strategic rebalancing, and non-ideological negotiations. These phrases, while not explicit, have been interpreted by analysts as a soft signal rather than coincidence. The Venezuelan side messaging has also subtly shifted. State-aligned commentators and semi-official figures have increasingly referenced the possibility of future pragmatic engagement with U.S. political actors beyond the current administration. While no names were mentioned directly, the timing of these statements coincided with Trump's increased visibility ahead of major political milestones. This has led observers to ask, why now? It is important to understand that high-level political dialogue does not always begin with official meetings. Historically, factional diplomacy often operates through business intermediaries, energy consultants, former intelligence or diplomatic officials, think tanks and policy forums, informal regional allies. When such channels activate simultaneously on both sides, it often indicates exploratory communication rather than formal negotiation. No discussion about Venezuela can avoid the subject of oil. Global energy markets remain under pressure. Supply chain disruptions, geopolitical instability, and sanctions fatigue have forced many governments to reconsider rigid policies. Trump has consistently emphasized energy dominance and domestic price control as political priorities. Analysts suggest that Venezuela's oil potential, if strategically managed, could play a role in reshaping future energy alignments, especially if political conditions change. A key question remains: if something significant is happening, why is it not headline news? There are three likely reasons: lack of formal confirmation, political sensitivity during an election-heavy period, deliberate strategic ambiguity. Major media outlets typically avoid reporting on developments that cannot be independently verified, especially when they involve non-official actors. Timing matters in geopolitics. Trump's political positioning requires demonstrating strength, unpredictability, and deal-making capability. On the other hand, Venezuela's leadership seeks economic relief, international legitimacy, and flexibility. Even exploratory dialogue benefits both sides, without requiring public commitment. Despite speculation, significant barriers remain: existing sanctions frameworks, legal limitations on unofficial diplomacy, domestic political opposition. In both countries' international scrutiny, any misstep could provoke backlash, which explains the extreme caution on both sides. Several independent analysts, speaking anonymously, have suggested that early-stage feelers are common before major policy shifts. According to them, what makes the situation unique is the alignment of economic pressure, political opportunity, and strategic necessity. However, they also emphasize that early dialogue does not guarantee eventual agreement. If these communications eventually materialize into official dialogue, the implications would be substantial. Reconfiguration of sanctions policy shifts and global oil supply dynamics, regional political realignment in Latin America, a precedent for unconventional diplomacy yet. For now, all of this remains hypothetical. Even unconfirmed developments deserve attention when they fit broader geopolitical patterns. Ignoring early signals often leads to being unprepared when official announcements finally arrive. History shows that major geopolitical shifts often begin quietly. At this stage, there is no definitive proof of formal talks between Donald Trump and Venezuela's leadership. What exists is a pattern of silence, timing, tone changes, and strategic ambiguity that suggests something may be unfolding beneath the surface. Whether this evolves into genuine engagement or fades into political speculation remains to be seen. But one thing is clear: the possibility alone signals how fluid and unpredictable global politics has become. For now, the world watches quietly.